Good evening and welcome to the Melissa Cardinals Network. This is Trey Graham and head coach Matt Nally joining you from the Dugout Sports Grill. We meet here every Monday evening at 5:30 p.m. for the Cardinals Scoreboard Show. Make sure you subscribe to Melissa ISD on YouTube so you can be updated when every episode drops on Monday evenings. And you can follow the Melissa Cardinals Network on Facebook because we'll tell you all the inside scoop on your favorite team. Matt Nally, welcome back. How does 3-0 feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. It feels, that's an understatement. It feels awesome. What's wild though is, on the way over here, I just thought to myself, can you believe it's already week 4? Just how fast everything's got. I just feel like it should be week 1 and it's week 4. That's nuts.
39-7 victory over Royce City Bulldogs. Second time the two teams have ever played one another, and second time you've beaten them.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for us.
So 6A Bulldogs, 5A Cardinals. We talked about this last week. It's really not a big deal what division you're in. Football is football, but 39-7, is that kind of what you thought was going to happen?
They had such a great run game going in. So, and they do some really cool things off of their run schemes. So I was really nervous going into the game, just how we were going to fit things. Early on, they ran a few schemes that fits our defense perfectly, and then they found something later in the first quarter. And if you notice in the second quarter, they had a pretty good drive and put the drive together and whatnot. So we had to adjust. And I mean, football is all about adjusting. People talk about halftime adjustments. Like, you're not really making halftime adjustments. You're making tweaks at halftime. You're adjusting throughout the game. So we had to adjust our fits, some of the things that they were doing. But 39-7, I'm not going to complain about that.
Few stats for the team. Melissa total offense, 426 yards,
Not bad.
about 60-40 run to pass, 232 on the ground, 194 in the air. So I'll say it again. Melissa total offense, 426. Royce City total offense, 45 yards.
Going into the year, people wanted to talk about my offense and all the experience that was coming back on this football team. But the thing is our defense is what I feel like right now is kind of our heartbeat. Coach Hensley and Coach Pennington and that entire defensive staff do such a great job of getting game plans together and making our kids successful. Coach Whitfield and Coach Spann do a great job of putting together that back end game plan, and Coach Pennington and Coach Kiefer and Coach Chapa and Coach Majors and Coach Howard do a great job of putting together that box game plan, and Coach Hensley does a great job of calling it. So, but we have a lot of experience back on that side of the ball too, and we have really great players.
They had 45 yards of total offense, 39 on the ground, and in an entire 48-minute football game, you gave up 6 passing yards.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
When it's only one digit in the score line, it's really good.
Yeah.
So you had 426 yards this week against Royce City. A year ago against Royce City, you had 450 yards total offense. So this season, you are 3-0. You knew that, right?
Yeah, yes,
3-0. Your offense is averaging 50.5 points per game,
go us, dang right.
431 yards per game.
That's pretty good.
Trevor Ham has thrown for 742 yards and 10 touchdowns.
That's pretty good too.
Nate Adejokin has rushed for 468 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's really good.
And do you remember what he said on this program a few weeks ago was his goal?
2,000 yards.
2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns.
20 touchdowns, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
468 and 3. So he's on the way.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay. Last Friday, North Crowley defeated Lovejoy 43-20.
Right.
Any thoughts on that game? Since we're not really looking ahead, but we're kind of looking ahead.
Yeah. So, I have a guy that throughout the game, so on our headsets, we have 6 channels. So one is owned by the offense, one is owned by the defense. I have one channel that's just with one coach, and then I have another channel with just one coach, and then the other 2 channels are so a defense coach can have individual conversations, offense coach can have different conversations. So I have a coach that will click over and I'll say, I need to know give me the district layout of the game or of what's going on right now. So at one point in time, I think the score is like 13-0 Lovejoy. Um, Lovejoy's got a lot of talent, a lot of players. They got great coaching, but North Crowley's a really good football team. So, and I know that Lovejoy's dealing with some injuries right now and things like that. So, um, but they're still really, really good. But no, sir. I mean, I've watched North Crowley on tape. They're really good.
And something else happened this past Friday.
Yeah. What?
Nigel Smith decided to finally announce. We've only had him on the show and asked him, 8 times, but he finally decided to announce Boomer
Yeah,
Sooner.
yeah. The thing is a lot of people want to talk about Nigel and his college decision and things like that. But that's something that he earned. I mean, I hate to be this way, but it's the truth. Like when people talk about Nigel, Nigel isn't overly athletic. Nigel is overly he works. That's what he gets all of his talent and eliteness from is his work ethic. So he earned it. I'm so proud of him, and I'm so excited for that program to get a kid like him.
We're going to come back with you in a few minutes and talk about a bunch of other things, but we will soon introduce our offensive and defensive players of the game. So, first on the offensive side, wide receiver Lincoln Dunn.
Lincoln is a quiet leader. He's a quiet kid. But when he makes a play, and let me rephrase that. He makes plays all the time. He makes plays in practice. He makes plays obviously in the games and whatnot. For the most part, he's a very humble kid, which makes me so proud that he's a part of our program. But the one thing that I love about Lincoln the most is once again just his work ethic. He was driven last year and he had goals and he drove himself throughout the off season and this summer to achieve those goals. And he's on point to achieve those goals. Um, but the thing too is he's such a good kid. He's going to be a good man. I'm just so proud of him and his brother. They're just really good people. So yeah, I mean Lincoln Dunn is a good pick for you guys to make this selection, but he's also just a good pick for the world. So I'm so
Well, he
excited
wasn't
for him.
player of the world, he was player of the game, just to be
Right,
clear.
but he
Okay.
is such a good person.
And our defensive player of the game for the victory over Royce City was linebacker Gunnar Wilson.
The funny thing about Gunner is, I've been here for 9 years, so I got to watch a lot of these kids grow up. But Gunner was one of those kids I got to watch grow up, and Gunner is one of those kiddos that, I kind of grew up with too a little bit. So it's just fun to watch a kid in the fourth grade go all the way through high school, and now that they're a senior, and you've seen them grow, but also like maturity, and you get to, I have those memories of him in the fourth and fifth grade of, just being a kid, and going out there and just loving life, you know what I mean, and so watching him grow up has been awesome. He's really turned into a great leader for us, verbally, but also obviously he's an action leader too. But I can't think of a better person and a better kid. Once again, he's deserved everything that he's gotten.
And so that means Nigel Smith at University of Oklahoma, Gunnar Wilson at Oklahoma State University.
Yeah,
Little bedlam there
yeah,
in
heck
Melissa,
yeah, heck
Texas.
yeah, heck yeah. I think it's kind of cool though. I mean, Gunner fits Oklahoma State. His personality fits Oklahoma State. When you look at him, you're like, you know what? That's an Oklahoma State Cowboy. Well, it's the total opposite with Nigel. He fits Oklahoma. When you look at him, he's like, that's a Sooner. You know what I mean? So I think they made the best decisions for them, and I'm excited for both of them.
We're going to take a break and we'll introduce you to Lincoln Dunn and Gunnar Wilson, and then we'll come back and talk with Coach Nally after this break. Remember, you and your family are invited to our church home every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. or 10:15 a.m. The First Melissa family is always welcoming you. You're able to find out a lot more information when you visit us online at firstmelissa.com. This is Trey Graham with Matt Nally from the Dugout. We'll take a break and introduce you to our players of the week right after this. Welcome back to the Cardinal Scoreboard Show. Join us every Monday night at the Dugout Sports Grill. This is Trey Graham on the Melissa Cardinals Network, and we are going to introduce you now to our offensive player of the game for the victory over Royce City. This is wide receiver Lincoln Dunn. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you for having me out.
Congratulations for being the offensive player of the game.
Yeah.
9 receptions, 83 yards, and a touchdown, and pretty effective on kick returns as well.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Did you have a fun time?
Yeah, I mean, caught a lot of punts. I had a
Which
couple good
means, hold on,
returns.
which means what?
Defense played good.
Defense stopped them a
Defense
lot.
played good.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Keep going.
Had a couple good returns. A couple good receptions, but yeah, it's a good game.
All right, we're going to talk about the past game in a moment, but let's go back in time. Something we mentioned on the broadcast. You were on the state 4x1 state championship, right?
Yes, sir.
4x100 track team.
Yes, sir. With Clark, Nate, and Jacob. Yep.
Okay. What was that experience like?
It was super fun. Going up to Austin was cool. Hanging out with all of them, and then obviously winning was super cool.
Which leg did you run?
I ran the second leg.
Okay.
Second leg.
And what was the expectation going into the state track meet?
I knew we were like probably the fourth fastest team. I honestly didn't expect to win it, but I don't know. It was crazy. It was a super close race too. But yeah.
And how's the 4x1 going to look this coming track season?
Honestly, I don't think it's gonna be too great. We lost a lot of guys. It'll be me and Nate, but I don't know who else will be on there.
Who's the fastest guy on the team?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who would say they're the fastest guy on the team besides you?
I don't think anybody would.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So talk about the big win over Royce City. What was your expectation going in?
Honestly, I thought we were gonna beat them worse. Offensively, we started out real slow. We picked it up a little bit later in the game. Trevor went down for a couple series, but he came back, and then we were able to score a little bit more. But it was okay offensively. But yeah,
And the first 3 games overall?
good. I think we looked really good. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, we played good. Passing the ball's been good. Running the ball's been great. Peanut's been great. Nate's looked way better. Yeah.
What do you want to do after high school?
I might serve a mission for my church. But after that, I'll probably go play football somewhere. I'm not sure yet.
Are you talking to schools?
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm talking to a couple Army, Utah Tech, Air Force, and a few others.
What's your favorite class in school?
Probably anatomy right now.
Who's the teacher?
That's a good
You're
question.
supposed to know that.
Yeah, I'm supposed to know that. Oh wait, it's Miss Rosh.
Okay.
Miss Rosh, there we go.
Okay. Like Coach Rosh? Mrs. Coach Rosh?
Is it? It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why do you like that class?
I think it'll be fun to just like dissect stuff. I don't know. I always thought that was kind of cool.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how long have you lived in Melissa?
Year and a half, I think.
Where did you move from?
I moved from Prosper, and before that, I lived in California.
Okay. And Texas versus California?
I like Texas more.
Well, that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Our offensive player of the game for the victory over Royce City was wide receiver Lincoln Dunn. We'll take a break and come back, and you'll meet our defensive player of the game right after this.
Trips right bunch to the wide side. Tight end left, Jackson Ford. Ham throws it right, and it's caught on the move. That is Lincoln Dunn, who shows great speed, and he gets around the right side, and he will have a Cardinal first down. To begin the third quarter, which happens immediately after the second quarter tonight, with the wind at his back. And the ball's on the tee, the ball's in the air. It's going to be a decent length taken by Lincoln Dunn at his own 7-yard line, up the hash at the 10, at the 20. Makes a man miss. He's out past the 30-yard line and out of bounds. And it's going to be first down, Cardinals. And Cardinal fans thought he was tackled out of the field of play, but no yellow hanky on the field. And after the 5-yard penalty, it is first down and 15 for the Cardinals offense. Trevor Ham takes the snap, has time, throws it deep down the seam, intended for Lincoln Dunn, comes back and makes the catch, and he'll take it all the way into Bulldog territory. He will be taken down at the 36-yard line. That is a 35-yard throw and catch.
That was a great route by Lincoln Dunn. What the Coach Hamilton and the receiving coach and the receiving staff will tell you is on those choice routes, by the time you're 10 yards downfield, you're going to look at the defensive back's hips. You're going to look for the open grass. In that case, Lincoln was open. The ball was slightly underthrown, but it was still a great catch, great throw.
Crawford will punt the football away. It's a good snap for him, and it's going to be a good kick. And Lincoln Dunn takes it at his 39-yard line, and the man grabs his shoelaces. He gets out of that, makes another man miss, turns the corner at the 50, at the Bulldog 40, and pushed out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Good punt return. Great speed from Lincoln Dunn. We've talked about this before. Remind us, a year ago, the 4x100 track team relay state champions.
Yes, that team consisted of Clark Packer was the opening leg, who's not Cardinal anymore, graduated last year. They had Lincoln Dunn, they had Nathan Adejokin, and then they had Jacob Fields.
And they won the 4x100 state championship at the UIL state track meet. Running back, Lincoln. And they throw it out to Lincoln Dunn. Again, he's been busy, and he dives forward to the 22-yard line for a first down. Now, Lincoln Dunn, Ross is trying to win the offensive player of the game so far.
And like punt returning player of the game. Punt returner of the game. I mean, if you're the only punt returner.
I was going to say, you're the best out of the one.
That's true.
Yeah,
but
you're still number one.
Still number one.
Yes.
Okay.
Second and 3, which I probably could have told you before the score. Hand the ball to, fake it to Adejokin, throw it to Lincoln Dunn. Touchdown, Cardinals. 9 yards out. Lincoln Dunn trying to win the offensive player of the game, and he has a touchdown catch from Trevor Ham from 9 yards out, and the Cardinals lead 38-7.
Welcome back to the Dugout Sports Grill at the Z-Plex. We join you every Monday night for the Cardinal Scoreboard Show, and it's our chance to introduce you to our players of the game. And this week we're talking about the big victory over the Royce City Bulldogs. My guest right now is our defensive player of the game, and that is senior linebacker Gunnar Wilson. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've been here before?
Yep, a few times.
And what do you think is the key to the defense's success? You heard our interview with Lincoln a minute ago. He had a lot of punt returns, which means you guys stopped him a lot. What was the key to the defensive success?
Really just shutting down the mid zone. They broke a few, medium gains. Not really any long gains against us before the, lightning warning or what?
Right.
Yeah,
Delay, yes.
So we came in and had some adjustments with our fits and the middle linebackers and how we're going to play that. So it's really all just like defense is like a puzzle. Everyone's got to fit the back, the secondary, and the D line and the linebackers. Everything just builds off of each other. So if one piece in the puzzle gets messed up, then it's going to be a positive gain for the offense.
How many years on varsity football now?
Technically 4, but really 3.
Okay.
I got moved up for a little bit on my freshman year.
Okay. What have you learned about the game of football over these years?
That goes by fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like just yesterday I was getting moved up to varsity, playing my first varsity game, and now I'm here as a senior leading the team.
Who did you look up to at that time?
One person I really looked up to was Ashton Mitchell Johnson.
Okay. Why?
Because I known him since I was little. He moved a few houses down from me when he first moved to Melissa, and we would always go play football at the park, throw the ball around.
Okay. And now what is it like being the leader and the senior on the team?
I think it's great. You get to set an example for the younger guys and just be there for them and show them the reins of the program.
What has Coach Nate Hemsley taught you?
Really, you just got to play fast, play physical, and do your job and be in the right spot at the right time.
And you've made your commitment to college football.
Yes, sir.
Tell us where?
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State, Stillwater.
Yep.
Why did you pick that?
Really just the continuity there. Coach Gundy's been there for 20 years. They're a winning program. They're always in a bowl game playing for a big-time bowl game. They're in the Big 12 championship 2 years ago. It's a very family-oriented program. It's a great school.
And what position are they projecting you for?
It's a hybrid between outside linebacker, middle linebacker, and safety.
Okay. Is that a fancy name for that?
It's called the Sam backer.
Sam, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what do you want to study in college?
Business or marketing. I haven't made my full decision yet, but one of those.
Okay. And your favorite class at Melissa High School?
Right now, probably my English class.
Taught by?
Mrs. Fox.
Okay. And why do you like it?
because I got a lot of friends in there.
Okay. Are you learning anything in there?
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Our defensive player of the game for the victory over Roy City was linebacker Gunnar Wilson, going to be an Oklahoma State Cowboy. We're going to take a break, and we'll talk more with head coach Matt Nally right after this.
9 minutes to go, first half. Bulldogs threatening, running the ball left. And a tough run to the 7-yard line. Pick up a 4. Will be 2nd and 6 from the 7. In the swinging gate play, they're going to pitch it out to Gunnar Wilson, who will take the pitch from the holder. Carson Maynard, 2-point play is good. There is a flag on the play. And that is a defensive penalty, declined. 2 points is good. Cardinals lead 25-7. Here comes the Bulldogs. Let's see what they choose to do in the final 28 seconds. Shotgun snap, rolling left. Square your shoulders and get sacked. That was Solomon and Gunnar Wilson on the sack. Now, Coach Nally has 2 timeouts left. Coach Petrov has 1. 3rd down, 16 for the Cardinals D, trying to get a stop there. There's the snap, taken, and they're going to run the football until Gunnar Wilson shuts it down at the 20-yard line, which will make it 4th down and 6. And we'll just hear what Coach David Petrov chooses, and he's going to send in his punt team. And Lincoln Dunn will go back deep for the Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Scoreboard Show. You met our players of the week, Lincoln Dunn and Gunnar Wilson. And we're back here with Coach Matt Nally. And we have a lot of more things to talk about. But one of the most important aspects or notable aspects of last Friday was a 45-minute lightning delay.
Right.
So, first question. I think I already know the answer, but maybe our audience doesn't. Talk about the logistics. How do you find out? Who makes the decision? Who decides when it's over? How do you restart the game? So the logistics of stopping and starting.
So first and foremost, our administration has done such a great job of protecting our kids. So we have things built into our stadium, Cardinal Stadium, Coach Kenny Deal Stadium, the baseball fields, the softball fields, our practice fields, all those things that are weather prevention. So we're coached.
Now, hold on one second. Does that mean lightning only or more than lightning? Is it tornado? Is it thunderstorm?
Everything. Yeah, I mean it's everything that you could think of that could potentially injure a child.
Okay.
So, and we're coached as coaches from our athletic director and our trainers that we do this over the summer.
We do a drill.
Yeah, well, it's more or less like we sit down and it's just like a class.
Okay. All right.
And so, I mean, it's immediate. Once that thing kicks off, there is no looking around. What are we doing or whatever? It is, you're gone. You're in, every kid, everybody. So I don't know if you noticed, but we did a really good job on Friday getting the kids off the field once it hit. Now, we had heard that there was that possibility
So had we.
before the
Yeah,
game had started. But once you're into the game, there's I can't remember, maybe 3 or 4 minutes left before half.
3:46.
3:46
Yeah.
before half. So your mind's not going that way. So it took a second to register that that's what was going on. And then you're automatically getting off the field. So and it's a 30-minute delay automatically.
Right. When the first strike comes.
Right.
If another strike comes, starts the clock over.
Exactly. So, and then the only person that can say, okay, it's clear. Now, once again, we have unbelievable facilities here. Our administration has hooked us up so well. We have an all clear sign, but the only person that can say, hey, it is safe to play is the trainer. So the trainer will come and say, it is safe to play.
Your trainer.
My trainer.
But what if it's a road game?
Their trainer.
Okay.
Their
It's
trainers.
the home team.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're the only person. So they'll say it's clear to play, and then the athletic directors will discuss, okay, we can continue play or not.
Okay.
So
when did the officials come into this?
The officials never come into it. So it's all
They have no deciding
they have
vote.
no deciding vote on what's going on. So there was a time on Friday night where we had discussed that if it was to click again and reset again at 9, we were going to be done. So we were out there warming up, or we were about to warm up, and we got the signal that it had reset again. So I don't know if anyone saw, but it was me, Coach Petrov, and Coach Stinton. We were together having a discussion,
Right.
and that discussion was, "Hey, y'all, be careful, be safe, yada yada yada." And then Coach Stinton got on his phone that it was an all clear. So, and then our trainer was like, "Hey, it's safe to play." And then Coach Stinton, he came to Coach Petrov and me and was like, "What do y'all want to do?" And we're like, "Let's play." So that's kind of how that works. I know that's kind of a crude description, but there's a lot of science and technology and things that
Sure.
are in with it. But I don't know the science and whatnot piece of it, the technology piece of it. But we have an app on our phone that tracks all those things and lets us know. And it's throughout the day too. So I mean, it's the one thing I love about our school and our trainers is there's UIL rules with heat, there's UIL rules with cold, and there's UIL rules with anything and everything in regard to temperature and weather and things like that. So and like I said, we have an app on our phone that dings us and allows us to know, but our trainers are constantly communicating with us throughout the day of the weather.
And so our audience will understand there's several options. I mentioned this on the broadcast Friday. You can resume the game,
Mm-hmm.
you can cancel the game,
Right.
or you can pause the game until the next day.
Right.
And over these 16 years calling Melissa football, we've done all of those things
Right.
over the years. So the next question is, we've talked about the logistics of a lightning delay. What is the coaching strategy of a lightning delay? Because you don't know how long it's going to be.
Right.
You have a whole indoor field to
Right.
go work out on
Right.
if you want to. The visiting team doesn't.
Right.
Coaching strategy.
There's two ways that you do it, and I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be the one that is you. It's like halftime. So I'm going to allow the kids to come in for about 8 minutes and have a moment to themselves. During that 8 minute time frame, coaches they're meeting with their groups. Offensively and defensively, and with their run game guys, and with their back end guys, and with their pass game guys, and blah blah blah. So for 8 minutes, that's how it works, and then we're going to work it like it's a halftime. So normal halftime is 28 minutes. That was a 45-minute delay. And once again, I want the kids constantly moving. So after that 8 minutes, it's a constant. We're constantly moving around. It might just be we're moving 10 feet or whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to lie, having an indoor helps.
Sure.
But on the road, it's the same thing. If we're on the road, we're constantly trying to keep the kids moved. Because once again, once you sit a kid down and they sit there and they're stagnant for 30, 40 minutes, I just don't think that you can get them back going and at a high level right when you start again.
Of course.
So for me, it's all about, hey, we're gonna move them, but at the same point in time, it's a mental thing too. So we're constantly on the board with the kids. So you might have your offensive line here on this board, for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to make the offensive line walk over here, and then they're going to walk through what they just went through on the board. You know what I mean? So I just believe in that. I don't believe in, because there's some people that I've done this before, that you just go in, it's a lightning delay, and you go in and sit it and wait to see what happens. I'm not on that.
We're going to talk about the Crandall Pirates, your opponent this Friday, in a moment. But your reactions to these 5 teams and their records after 3 games. We've already talked about Lovejoy, 2-1.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Argyle, 0-2.
Yeah, that's the one that's crazy. Yes, sir.
Sock, South Oak Cliff, 1-2.
Yes, sir.
Anna Coyotes, 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Salina Bobcats, 3-0.
Yes, sir.
Thoughts?
The one that really stands out obviously is going to be Argyle. But we had that conversation a couple weeks ago. Anna being 3-0, that doesn't shock me. That doesn't surprise me. Obviously, Salina doesn't surprise me either. I think they play this week. I could be wrong. But I think that's going to be a great football game. Who was the other one?
Sock, 1-2.
Sock, that does not shock me as much because obviously they had the same record last year. But with Sock, I mean, they're playing unbelievable talent. But they have some young kids in there that they're trying to replace some other kids with. So that's going to take time.
Okay. We mentioned that Lovejoy lost to North Crowley 43-20 last week, so that's where they got to be 2-1. You're playing at the Crandall Pirates this Friday, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Make sure you're by the channel for a 7:30 kickoff. Last season, you defeated Crandall by a score of 50-22.
Dang right.
Only time the teams have ever played before this year. And you thought your 426 yards of total offense against Roy City was pretty good. Last year against the Crandall Pirates, you had that much in the first half.
Dang right. That's awesome.
602 for the game. Trevor Ham, 309 passing, 4 touchdowns. Nate Adejokin, 142 on the ground and a touchdown. Pretty good game a year ago.
Yeah, heck yeah. Once again, my offensive staff did a great job of scheming them last year, and yeah, they had a great game plan. The kids executed extremely well.
This season, the Crandall Pirates are 2-1. Last Friday, they defeated Jacksonville 49-17, and guess what? They had a lightning delay,
Right,
and their game was actually called off
right,
in the third quarter.
right. There was a lot of schools that I didn't know this until the game was over. I was talking to a presser at the Dallas Morning News, and she told me that a lot of schools canceled their games or got delayed or things like that. So I really thought it was just Melissa. So, but Crandall's a really good football team, and we're going to have to be ready Friday night.
Last question for you. Non-district season has come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
Those first 3 games have nothing to do with your playoff seeding.
Right.
Now, the next 7 games in your district schedule are all about playoff seeding.
Right.
I know you treat them differently, non-district versus district.
Not just district, I consider it like a scrimmage, and we're just trying to get our personnel right. We're trying to get our schemes right and make our kids successful with what we're asking them to do. If we have a scheme that we really like, but the kids can't execute it, well, then we're just going to take that out. I believe that is what non-district is for, and making sure you have your personnel correct. When it comes to district play, we've already spent, those 3 weeks, your fall camp time of figuring all that out. So I'm a little bit more on edge, in they're going to be the next 7 ball games, and I'm going to expect a little bit more from the players and the coaches moving forward, just because of the fact of playoff seeding is what it is, and any Friday night, anything can happen on a Friday night. But if you do the right thing and you execute, you're a disciplined football team, you do the right thing consistently, you're going to have an opportunity to have an easier playoff push. So that is what we're really going to be concentrating on. Is each game is going to be the same game. It has the same weight. We're going to prepare the exact same way. But once again, we cannot buy into that hype of we're the number 1 football team in the state and things like that.
Oh, by the way, you are the number 1 football team in the state.
Yeah. But those things can get you beat. If you buy into those things and whatnot. So I really like where the program is right now and how we're moving forward. But at the end of the day, we still have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of things to clean up. And obviously, too, I believe that district play is a cleanup time for the playoffs. So, there's going to be still some speed bumps and whatnot that we'll have to overcome, and some adversity we'll have to overcome. But that's what this time is about.
Your Melissa Cardinals on the road this Friday to begin the district schedule at the Crandall Pirates. Make sure you're here by the channel on the Melissa Cardinals Network, 7:30 kickoff. Ross Graham and I bringing you that broadcast from Crandall, Texas. We do thank Lincoln Dunn and Gunnar Wilson for being our guests today. Congratulations to them for being our players of the game. Thanks to Coach Matt Nally, as always, for his time. We appreciate the great folks at the dugout here at the Z-Plex for welcoming us. You are invited every Monday, 5:30 p.m. for dinner here at the dugout, and you're invited to our church home Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. and 10:15 a.m. Go to firstmelissa.com to find your new church home. Thank you again for your joining us tonight. We'll see you on Friday in Crandall. This is Trey Graham for the Melissa Cardinals Network saying good night from the dugout.